Oh, there, RC here. I'm going to do a quick video on a couple of basic things you kind of need to know, and it'll kind of explain a bit of how the map's going on here and the why and whatever. It's basically going to be starting in the glossary section where we define home country, a nation, and the importance of national reference sheets. So, first thing, a nation is anything that is the same color. Let's start with France here. It's a much better example. It's the same color and has the same roundel. And the capital of that will be brighter, as you can see, than the five surrounding it. So the capital will be the brightest, and the surrounding area that has land zones, and each land zone's got a border, right? And it'll have a roundel. Some of them, they'll all have a name. That is what you're going to be using, right? You're going to compare anything that's connected to the capital will be the home country. So now, for example, with France, this is the home country. This island here of Corsica or southern Algeria or Tunisia, they are not the capital. They're considered to be colonies because they're not part of that continental landmass connected to the capital. That would be the home country. All right. Here's a couple more examples. That France is a nation. Another nation is Portugal here. It's only got one land zone with the connected to its capital, which has got the brighter roundel. And here you can see a colony, the Azores. It's got a few other colonies, but that's good enough for the purposes of this conversation. I'm just going to move my sheets down a little bit so I can properly show something about Spain here. All right, now Spain is a bit of a complex thing because Spain's currently in the middle of a civil war at the start of the game. Its capital is here in Madrid, as you can see by the really bright roundel. And then the roundels from the same faction in the Civil War are much muter. Same thing with the opposing faction in the Civil War. Its roundels are mute. And you'll be able to see that the Balearic Island there, Spanish Morocco, the Canary Islands, they're all colonies of Spain, and they also have the muted details. So the home country of Spain is going to be anything connected to the capital here and the surrounding landmass. All right, this is an odd example, and the reason I'm using it is because you have the capital, and then you have two different factions fighting over the capital and the home country. All right, so that's that on nations and home country and colonies. And there's another section I kind of covered there in the rule book on 1.3 that covers colors and roundels of the map. It also defines, so if you're looking for this stuff, you can find it yourself there. And the other stuff was in the glossary, home country, nation, and obviously a national reference sheet may vary from this, but unless there's a sheet that varies from this, this is the rule. All right, I'm now going to progress into there's a section in section 4.1 of the rule book where it defines minor and major powers. Now, a major power, there's only 7 of them. All 7 of the major powers have a reference sheet. The major powers include, let's start with the communists first, Russia, or the USSR. Then with the Axis, we have, as a major power, Japan, Italy, and Germany. And then for the Allies, we have France. Let's go with the USA here, which is split on both sides of the map. And then we have the British Commonwealth. Now, the British Commonwealth is only one major power. However, it comes with 3 reference sheets. All right, and just like the other major powers, Canada's part of the British major power. so are the FEC, and so are the Australians. So that's kind of how that works out. All right, so just remember, Britain is confusing. It is one major power, and that was the 7. 3 for the Allies, 3 for the Axis, 1 for the Communists. All right. Now I'm just going to go over a quick thing with the... there's some minor powers in this that are controlled by players. Here's a quick example. You have the Spanish nationalists. I have them in purple. They have this black with the X in white on their symbol. That is controlled by the Axis of Germany. Then you have this red power here, the Spanish Republicans. They are controlled by the Communists, Russia. And then we have Abyssinia here, which is controlled by the French. It's at war with the Italians. And then in China, we also have the KMT here in the lime green. They are at war with the Communist Chinese, or the CCP. And that is, again, controlled by the Allies in the green, controlled by the Communists, or the Comintern, or the Russians in the red. All right. Anything else on the map is still a minor power. All right. But these are the only minor powers in the base game that start with a reference sheet. The 2 factions in the Civil War in China, and then the 2 factions in the Civil War in Spain. There's other expansions out there which can add more, but this is the base unit. Now, the major difference between a major and a minor power, you'll be able to see here, KMT overview. It shows the home country, the 2 scenarios, evolution to a major power, surrender. Now, if you look at any of the major powers, I'm going to use the US as an example. You have the home country, you have war status, you have lend-lease, you have special minor power alignment conditions, which means that minor powers can be aligned to them. You have the Monroe Doctrine, and then you got surrender. These things here, the Monroe Doctrine, alignments, lend-lease, and war status, they all involve either monetary or political influence. Minor powers cannot do that. So that's the major differentiation between a minor and a major power, even though the minors may be player controlled. And I'm going to leave you there, and I'll probably do some more videos on this, but I just wanted to get a general overview on that. I know this will be a review for a lot of you, but if I have a lot of players that come in and have never played the game before, and this is a basic important thing they need to know so that they can play the game.